horror story of mental hospital. Use me with me to get deeper into the story. Let's begin.
Part 1. The Foreboding Asylum. The Edgewood Mental Hospital, nestled on the outskirts of a forgotten town, had a grim reputation. It was a place where the fragile boundary between sanity and madness blurred into a murky abyss. Dr. Benjamin Harlow, a renowned psychiatrist, had accepted the daunting task of overseeing Ward 13, the most notorious section of the asylum. As twilight surrendered to darkness, one fateful evening, Dr. Harlow felt an eerie presence slithering through the hospital's dimly lit corridors. The flickering fluorescent lights cast disquieting shadows that danced upon the cracked walls, and a bone-chilling chill clung to the air. The distant, haunting echoes of tormented patients reverberated through the desolate halls. Dr. Harlow's mission was to uncover the truth behind the sinister legends surrounding Ward 13, a place where the most disturbed patients were held. Little did he know that he would soon become entangled in a nightmarish tale of revenge and despair. Part 2. The Tragic Tale of Nurse Lydia. As Dr. Harlow delved deeper into the asylum's grim history, he unearthed a tragic tale. Nurse Lydia, once known for her unwavering dedication to her patients, had seen her world crumble when her father, a patient at Edgewood, met a mysterious demise. Lydia had been convinced that foul play was involved in her father's death. She believed that one of the hospital staff, Dr. Malcolm Hastings, was responsible for his untimely end. Her relentless pursuit of justice led to Dr. Hastings' disgrace, but the truth remained elusive. Lydia's grief and anger festered, and in a moment of despair, she made a sinister pact with a malevolent entity. She swore vengeance on Dr. Hastings, promising her own soul in return. Thus, Lydia became a vengeful spirit, haunting the hospital and vowing to torment anyone associated with Dr. Hastings until he was brought to justice. Part 3. The Demonic Haunting. Dr. Harlow's investigation unraveled eerie occurrences that defied rational explanation. Objects moved of their own volition, disembodied whispers, whispered chilling secrets, and the cries of tormented souls grew louder after nightfall. One ominous night, as Dr. Harlow studied old medical records, he heard a voice, a cold, haunting voice, calling out from the shadows. It was Lydia, the vengeful spirit, demanding retribution for her father's death. She declared that she would continue to torment him until Dr. Hastings, the man she believed was her father's murderer, faced justice. Haunted by Lydia's relentless pursuit, Dr. Harlow embarked on a perilous quest to uncover the truth about her father's death and to bring closure to the tormented spirit. However, the deeper he delved into the asylum's dark secrets, the more he realized that Edgewood Mental Hospital held horrors beyond his wildest imagination. Part 4. The Unveiling of Horrors. Dr. Harlow's quest for answers led him deeper into the bowels of the hospital, where darkness seemed to seep from the very walls. The catacombs, he discovered, were a labyrinth of suffering, filled with the remnants of unspeakable experiments. Cracked and rusted surgical instruments lay scattered about, and the stains of long-dried blood adorned the cold, damp floors. As he moved cautiously through the subterranean maze, Dr. Harlow uncovered horrifying records detailing the inhumane treatments patients had endured. Electroshock therapy, lobotomies, and other barbaric practices had been carried out in the name of science and supposed treatment. It was a house of nightmares, where the line between healing and cruelty had been gruesomely erased. Part 5. The Final Confrontation. Driven by a sense of duty and the haunting presence of Lydia, Dr. Harlow confronted Dr. Hastings in a dimly lit chamber deep within the catacombs. The air was thick with tension as the two men faced each other, their breaths visible in the frigid air. Dr. Hastings, a man once esteemed in his profession, now stood as a broken and guilt-ridden figure. The malevolent spirit watched from the shadows, her eyes filled with a hunger for vengeance. Dr. Harlow demanded answers, and in a voice laden with remorse, Dr. Hastings confessed to his role in Lydia's father's death. It had been a terrible accident, a tragic mix of medications and unforeseen complications. Dr. Hastings had hidden the truth to protect his reputation and had allowed Lydia to bear the burden of her father's death unjustly. The malevolent spirit's wrath erupted in a terrifying crescendo of paranormal activity. The walls of the catacomb groaned and shifted, as though possessed by an otherworldly force. Dr. Harlow and Dr. Hastings were trapped in a nightmare, their world collapsing around them. Part 6. The Unexpected Revelation. Amidst the chaos, a chilling revelation surfaced like a drowning man gasping for air. Dr. Hastings, on the brink of madness, managed to reveal the true nature of Lydia's curse. She had been manipulated by the malevolent entity that had granted her power in exchange for her soul. Lydia, consumed by her desire for vengeance, had unwittingly become a pawn in a much darker game. The malevolent entity reveled in her torment, feeding on her anguish and fury. It had used her to sow chaos and despair within the asylum, prolonging her suffering for its own malevolent pleasure. As the truth emerged, the malevolent spirit's grip on Lydia's soul began to weaken. Dr. Hastings, now on his knees and begging for forgiveness, offered a selfless act of redemption. With tears in his eyes, he confronted the malevolent entity, offering his own soul in exchange for Lydia's freedom. In a blinding burst of spectral energy, the malevolent entity accepted Dr. Hastings' sacrifice, and Lydia's tortured spirit was released from its grasp. The catacomb's malevolent force dissipated, and an eerie silence descended upon the hospital. As the first rays of dawn broke, Edgewood Mental Hospital, once a place of unspeakable horror, lay in eerie stillness. Dr. Harlow and Lydia, forever scarred by their harrowing ordeal, were left to ponder the chilling revelation that sometimes the pursuit of vengeance could lead to even greater darkness. And so, the haunting of Ward 13 came to an end, but the echoes of its malevolence would linger, a haunting reminder of the consequences of revenge and the depths of despair that could be unleashed in the pursuit of justice.